Hey guys, it's Spotty. Today I wanted to talk about some pros and cons after using this, the X-Men Galaxy version 2M, in the sculpted stickless variant for just 1 week. So just a disclaimer, I'm not the most experienced in Megaminx, averaging just under 2 minutes 30, but hopefully I'll still be able to describe this cube in a way that is helpful to anybody thinking about picking this up. But let's begin with a few cons I have, and later we'll go through the pros while reading some semi-lost in translation pieces of advertising. So first up, this cube comes with some accessories in its pretty fancy packaging. The first of these is a couple magnets so that if for whatever reason you lose some, there are replacements, which is a nice addition. But then the other thing they include are some black replacement parts, which is kinda confusing since, well, I have a stickless puzzle. But if you are getting a black puzzle, you can lose up to 5 edges, 1 2/3 of a corner, and 1 cap exactly. What these pieces are useful though is seeing where magnets would sit in your puzzle, which leads me onto my second con. While these magnets do have little divots to sit in, they are definitely held in place by glue. Now I haven't had any magnets dislodge yet, but it would have been nice to see that in a really top end, not to mention fairly expensive Megaminx, that they put the time to design magnets into the mechanism itself, just for peace of mind. Alright, my last con. This puzzle is a little bit slow out of the box and doesn't have that real ease of turning that some Megaminxes have. However, with breaking in and setup, I'm almost positive that this will not be an issue at all, but I thought it'd be good to mention. But that's pretty well all the cons that I could think of. Also, the price, kind of, but I think that this could definitely be worth it for a good bunch of people. Before we move on to the advertised pros, there are 2 things that I want to mention that are not really so much pros, but are not really cons either. One of those things are the shades. The shades on this Megaminx I think are very vibrant and are pretty distinguishable from each other. The only one which I might have a little bit of trouble with in non-ideal lighting conditions is this cream and white. The second thing is the feeling, which I think is really brilliant. It's absolutely buttery smooth, super soft, and cuts aren't jarring at all. It's almost like the SM in Megaminx form. But let's get into the first advertised pro, which is the tapering depth pattern with increasing surface curvature, significantly improving control and anti-slipping out ability. As we can see from this very comprehensive chart, the Galaxy V2 has an edge over the V1 because of its deeper pattern. And while I can't compare this to the V1 because I don't own it, the grip on this one is definitely really solid, and I appreciate that they designed something with good grip, but that doesn't add significantly to the size of the puzzle. Moving on to the corner cutting only made possible because of the tapering rounding design on the cap, the high precision rounding design on the edges, the chamfer design on the corner, and the big rounding design on the foot of the corner. And as funny as that advertising sounds, in all seriousness, this cube does cut pretty much anywhere, so cutting does get a thumbs up from me, and this also contributes to that real fluidity in solves. Improved stability is next, and X-Men accounts 3 main things that contribute to it. The first is the conical springs that increase the spring force area. The second is the widened internal feet mechanism. And the final is of course the magnets, which also decreases the misoperation chance during solves. The stability on this cube is definitely fantastic, and the cube feels very well put together, even putting up with my sloppy Megaminx turning. I also want to note that the magnetic strength is pretty much perfect for me. The strength is slightly on the lighter side, but is still noticeable when turning slowly. Additionally, I find that with magnets, I don't just randomly turn layers accidentally, as I would with other Megaminxes. So the quote-unquote misoperation is in fact kept to a minimum. Finally, touching on corner twisting, I have actually gotten 1 corner twist so far, which isn't a good sign since I've done not even 100 solves, but hopefully that was just a one-off. So with all that said, who would benefit from this puzzle, and who do I recommend it to? Well, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is probably the best Megaminx on the market, and I would be expecting a lot of top-end solvers to start taking this up as their main. However, this doesn't mean that I recommend it to everybody because it is quite expensive. So if you're seriously into Megaminx or just have the cash and want probably the best mass-produced Megaminx on the market, then here's your cube. But that's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.